This is the last spread in my current journal, and I'm using the June Journal With Me kit, which is available in my Etsy store. And I thought since this is my last entry in this journal, it might be a good time to share some tips and ideas for completing an entire journal. First tip is to use a journal that you really love and that you really feel inspired to use. So if you actually like your journal, you'll be so much more inclined to actually use it. And secondly, don't be afraid to use it. It might be the most beautiful journal you've ever seen and you might be scared to ruin it, but just remember that what makes a journal really special and interesting is those imperfect entries inside it. You should also have a rough idea of what you want your journal to contain. So it might be writing about your daily life, thoughts or feelings. It might be photos or scrapbook style journaling. It could be drawings and paintings, or it could be all of the above. I highly recommend knowing what you want to include, but also being flexible enough to change it if you want to. So if something's no longer working for you, or if journaling doesn't feel enjoyable anymore, you need to allow yourself to change it up and to try something different, but within the same journal. So there's no need to stop and start a whole new journal when you feel uninspired, or if you've stopped for a while. Just start on a fresh page and try a different approach. My next tip is to remember to document parts of your life that seem really simple and small, and not just those bigger moments or events. Most of our lives are made up of smaller moments, and altogether they are really quite significant. So I like to do this by writing down quotes or little conversations I've heard or had with other people, by taking photos of fleeting moments and including them on a page, and by keeping tangible items that help me to remember those little moments. So things like pressed flowers or leaves or lists or packaging, stuff like that. My next tip is to really not put any pressure on yourself to journal on a set schedule. So don't tell yourself to journal every day or that you have to journal every day. Just journal when you have the time and when you actually feel like doing it, which can be as often or as little as you like. I feel like often people begin to lose their enjoyment with journaling because they feel as though they aren't doing it enough or doing it right, and they just put so much pressure on themselves that they're setting themselves up to fail, really. So if you put unrealistic expectations on yourself, you're most likely not going to meet them, which will most likely just make you give up. So just make sure you take away those expectations that you have of yourself and just do whatever feels right to you and whatever works with your life at the time. To keep inspired to journal, look for inspiration regularly. So this can be by going for walks or drives in nature or visiting somewhere new. It can be by looking at YouTube videos or Pinterest images, or by looking at your own old entries or journals and making notes of the things that you really enjoyed and things that still inspire you, or things you'd like to try again or do again. And if you ever feel short of inspiration or no longer feel motivated to journal, look for a fresh idea of something that you haven't tried before. So you could take your journal out for the day and draw or write what you see. You could create a collage or do some hidden journaling. Sometimes just doing something new can spark a fresh source of inspiration and give you that fulfillment again to gain the momentum to create more and more. Last of all, even though creating beautiful pages can be fun, make sure you're journaling for yourself and not for others. Make sure you're not just journaling to try and fit into a certain category or a certain aesthetic. You've got to be journaling for yourself and not for other people, not looking for external validation. So the reason why journaling can be addictive enough to fill out every single page is because the process of filling the pages is enjoyable and rewarding, and that should really be a personal and internal thing, so you feel that fulfillment and enjoyment within yourself because you've enjoyed the process. So finished pages might be nice and interesting to look at, but it's really that journaling process that's the very best part. So getting creative on a page and documenting parts of your life and having that outlet is really what makes journaling so great. Having those pages filled up is rewarding in itself because you have a visual representation of your life. But it's usually those pages where you've really sat and pulled yourself into them during the process that stand out the most to you in the end. So those pages where you've really put either your special memories down or you've got lots of emotion within those pages, you've really used it as an outlet for yourself. Or it might just be those pages where you've sat down and given yourself heaps of time just to play around with the pages and to enjoy the process and put those positive emotions into the pages as well, those pages can really stand out to you in the end when you flick through a completed journal. Those ones where they have a real purpose to them and that have really benefited you in some sort of way. So I hope this little video gave you some tips and some inspiration to sticking with a journal until it's completely filled up. If you're looking for any more inspiration, I have tons of videos on my channel. I have journal flip throughs, I have process videos, I have lots of ideas and tutorials, so you can check those out. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be coming back soon with a flip through of this journal, so really looking forward to that. I hope you guys are all doing really well, and I will see you in my next video. Golden, I follow.